Excluded from my sister's promotion dinner, I booked a luxury retreat. When the celebration collapsed and her boss walked out, my whole family suddenly needed me. Too bad I was too busy soaking in a mountain spa, sipping tea, and blocking every single call. I stared at the message, rereading it for the third time. Promotion dinner this Friday. So excited to celebrate with everyone who helped make this possible. Thank you all. I'm truly blessed. Hope you understand if we had to limit the guest list. Claire. That, hope you understand, hit me like a slap. My name's Eric. I'm 38, live in Arlington, Virginia, and I've been the older, dependable sibling for as long as I can remember. So when my little sister Claire needed help pitching that analytics project last fall, the one that led directly to her promotion, I stayed up 3 nights in a row to help her prep slides and walk through hypothetical Q&As. And now? She invites her coworkers, her boyfriend's poker buddies, even some folks I hadn't heard her mention in years, but not her own brother. I didn't say anything at first. I just sat there in the quiet of my apartment, staring at the message, stewing. Then I picked up the phone and called the one person I thought might give me a straight answer. Hey, Mom. Hi, sweetheart, she said warmly, but with that slightly distracted tone she always had when she was already siding with Claire. Did you know Claire's having a promotion dinner this Friday? A beat. Oh, well, yes. Isn't that lovely? She didn't invite me. Mom's pause was longer this time. Well, honey, it's just a dinner. You know how these work things go. Limited seats, office crowd, nothing personal. She invited over 100 people, I said flatly. Mom chuckled like I was being unreasonable. It's not a wedding, Eric. Don't be dramatic. Right. Because not being invited to a milestone celebration hosted by the person you helped elevate is totally fine, as long as it's just dinner. The worst part? I wouldn't even have known if my cousin Nate hadn't posted a story on Instagram with the caption, "Getting ready to celebrate the Queen Claire's big win." There she was in a silver dress, grinning with a champagne flute in hand. And still, nothing to me. I hung up the phone and just sat there. For a long time. It wasn't about the dinner. It was the realization. The cold, growing awareness that no matter how much I contributed, I'd always be the behind-the-scenes guy. The fixer. The fallback. Not anymore. I pulled out my laptop and typed luxury solo wellness retreats. Something clicked the second I saw the photos, alpine views, heated stone massage tables, yoga on a snowy deck overlooking the Italian Alps. This time, I wasn't going to sit home feeling sorry for myself. I was going to treat myself like the main character. Let Claire toast to her curated crowd. Let Mom defend her. I was done being the brother who quietly supported from the sidelines. That night, I poured a glass of wine, opened my booking tab, and whispered to no one in particular, "Hope you understand, Claire." Then I hit confirm. I didn't even blink when I clicked confirm reservation. 7 nights at an exclusive wellness resort nestled in the Italian Alps. It was more money than I'd ever spent on myself for a trip, and it felt perfect. Petty? Maybe. But it felt good. The moment the confirmation email came in, I took a screenshot and opened Instagram. I usually kept things low-key, mostly reposted nature photos or meal prep hacks. But this time, I was feeling bold. Caption: Guess I didn't make the guest list, but I'm making the escape list. I uploaded the shot of my plane ticket, grinning as I tagged the Milan airport and added the emoji combo. The likes started within minutes. Cousin Ava commented, "Damn okay, jet setter." My aunt left a polite, "Have a great time, dear." Then came the private messages. Nate, wait, are you actually going to Italy? Aaron from high school, this looks amazing. Tell me everything when you get back. And then, right on cue. Mom, Eric, really? Is this necessary? Mom, you know your sister worked very hard. Why are you trying to take attention away from her? Mom, petty doesn't suit you, sweetheart. I rolled my eyes. It wasn't about attention. It was about finally doing something for myself. A few hours later, I posted a photo of the Alps from a stock image site, just to tease the vibes. It looked like a postcard, jagged peaks, snow-dusted pines, the kind of place where nobody talks about team-building exercises or corporate synergy. The caption read, "Enjoy your steak tartare and HR speeches. I'll be over here detoxing my tolerance." That one hit. Laugh reacts from a couple of coworkers. A raised eyebrow emoji from my cousin Jeff. Then silence from the family chat. Claire didn't say a word. Not publicly. But I knew she saw it. The scene icon on the group text thread made it obvious. That night, I turned off my phone notifications and sat on my balcony with a glass of bourbon. For once, I wasn't waiting for someone to need me. Wasn't wondering if I should keep the peace, let it go, be the bigger person. They'd made their choice. They celebrated her like I didn't exist. Now it was my turn. Booking that retreat wasn't just about Italy. It was a line in the sand. A signal to them, and maybe to myself, that I was done playing the uninvited support act. No more lifting everyone else up while they left me off the list. This time, I was spending my energy on someone who actually deserved it. Me. By the time I stepped off the shuttle and onto the cobbled stone drive of the retreat, it already felt like another world. Snow blanketed the pine trees like powdered sugar. The chalet-style buildings looked like something out of a travel magazine, not overly polished, but quietly expensive. A woman in a pale gray uniform greeted me with a smile and a cup of warm herbal tea. "Mr. Collins? Welcome. We've prepared a custom itinerary for your stay, no stress, just options. Let's get you settled first." No one asked what I did for a living. No one mentioned job titles or family. Here, I wasn't the brother, the helper, the placeholder. I was just Eric. The room was ridiculous. Heated floors, a fireplace, and a balcony view of the Alps so stunning I didn't know whether to cry or take a selfie. I did both. That night, I posted a picture from the sauna, legs stretched out, steam rising in lazy spirals. Caption: "When they cut you out, make room for more steam." Instant feedback: a hard eyes emoji from Ava, a vague interesting from one of Claire's friends, and a totally unnecessary thumbs down from Mom, followed by a text: "Eric, please stop this." I didn't reply. Instead, I leaned back into the sauna bench and let the heat work its way through my shoulders, deeper than any massage ever had. It was strange how fast I adjusted to being cared for. The staff remembered my name. They asked if I liked honey in my morning tea, then remembered the next day without prompting. I wasn't background noise. I was the point. During a solo snowshoe walk, bundled up in layers, I found myself thinking about all the times I'd pushed my own needs aside. The years of being the guy who fixed Claire's resume, drove our mom to appointments, quietly paid for unexpected car repairs when our dad forgot again. Claire had always been the one with big moments. Engagement parties, job promotions, destination birthdays. And me? I was the safe bet. The constant. The one who'd never make a scene. I hadn't realized how deeply I'd swallowed that role until I finally stepped out of it. In the quiet, it hit me. I'd spent most of my life waiting to be noticed. But here, with no one watching, I felt more seen than I ever had. That night, I turned my phone on silent for the first time in years and left it face down on the nightstand. No family texts. No updates. I threw on a robe and padded outside to the snow garden. The cold bit at my face, but it made me feel alive. I stood there barefoot for just a moment, surrounded by mountains, and smiled like a lunatic. Let them talk. Let them wonder. For once, I wasn't picking up the pieces. I was finally, blissfully, off the clock. I was halfway through a guided yoga class when my phone, which I'd shoved deep into my bag and silenced, started vibrating over and over. At first, I ignored it. Deep breath in, raise your arms, soften the shoulders. Let it go. Buzz, buzz, buzz. I opened one eye. My yoga instructor gave me a gentle nod, like she understood the magnetic pull of family chaos even here, at 9,000 feet above sea level. After class, I sat on a cushioned bench outside the spa and finally gave in. I pulled out my phone and scrolled through the screen. 7 missed calls. 4 texts from Mom. 2 from Aunt Deb. Even one from Claire's boyfriend, a guy who hadn't spoken to me since he borrowed my toolbox and forgot to return it. "Mom, where are you? Claire's in trouble. Call me." "Aunt Deb, what happened last night? Claire's devastated. This is a disaster." "Mom again. Eric, please. Your sister needs you." I blinked. "Wait, what?" I opened the text from Nate. "Nate, dude, dinner went nuclear." Claire's partner made some wild announcement and walked out. She was crying. Everyone left early. People are talking. It's bad. I scrolled up and saw a blurry photo someone had snapped of the dinner, candles, floral centerpieces, Claire standing at the head of the table, mouth open mid-sentence, her boyfriend off to the side with his arms crossed and a stormy look on his face. According to the messages, somewhere between the appetizers and dessert, he had stood up, toasted authenticity, and then announced that he and Claire were taking a break because he needed someone more grounded. Then he walked out. Guests awkwardly shuffled out within 30 minutes. Claire apparently sobbed in the parking lot while Mom tried to call me at least a dozen times, according to her voicemail. I set my phone down and looked out over the snowy ridge. It was almost funny. The family had gone to great lengths to exclude me from the big moment. And now, when it all fell apart, they were practically screaming for me to come back and fix it. Suddenly, I was relevant again. I went back to my suite, showered slowly, and changed into the resort's plushest robe. Then I made a cup of mint tea, carried it onto the balcony, and took a picture of the view, snow-capped peaks under a pale winter sun. I posted it with the caption, "Let them unravel." I'm busy getting a facial. More text poured in. "Mom, please, honey, just talk to her. She really needs you. Cousin Ava, she was a mess. You'd have known what to say. Claire's friend, a number I didn't even recognize, she said she wishes you'd been there. You always know how to help." I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I walked to the appointment desk and asked if I could move my massage up to now. "Of course, Mr. Collins," the receptionist said with a smile. "Would you like to add a scalp treatment?" Yes, I said, sipping my tea. Yes, I would. Let the dinner crash. Let the carefully curated guest list scatter. They wanted a version of success that looked good on paper. I wanted peace. And I had it. The next morning started the same way the last one ended, my phone vibrating itself off the nightstand like it had a personal vendetta. 7 new voicemails. 14 texts. 1 missed video call from mom. I didn't open any of them right away. Instead, I ordered room service, a basket of warm brioche, wild blueberry preserves, and the smoothest cappuccino I've ever tasted. I ate in a robe, barefoot, sitting on a private balcony wrapped in the scent of mountain pine. No noise. No expectations. No Claire. Finally, I caved. Just a little. I tapped into my voicemail. Mom, panicked. Eric, please, sweetheart. Claire's not eating. She's devastated. Everyone's blaming each other. Your cousin Ava said it was my fault. Your Uncle Phil said I never should have let her plan something that huge without help. Just, please come home and help us figure this out. Claire, through tears, I know you're mad. I know I messed up. But I didn't expect everything to fall apart like this. I need you. Please call me. Please. Uncle Phil, whispering Eric. Just between us, Grandma says this happened because you weren't there. She called it a bad omen. You know how she gets. Honestly? Might be onto something. That last one made me laugh. I actually laughed out loud, sitting there with jam on my fingers and a bite of brioche halfway to my mouth. Grandma, the family oracle, had declared my absence a curse. Classic. I leaned back in the chair, wiped my fingers on the cloth napkin, and posted a photo of the sunrise over the glacier. Caption, crisis-free morning. Highly recommend. A few cousins liked it immediately. One commented, a little passive-aggressive, don't you think? I deleted it without blinking. I wasn't being passive-aggressive. I was being done. Claire had built a world where I didn't exist. She planned a dinner where I wasn't needed, not as a guest, not as a brother, not even as a footnote. And now, because the performance collapsed mid-scene, I was expected to step in and direct the next act? No. I called the front desk and extended my reservation by a week. Any chance I could upgrade to one of those rooms with the stone tub? Let me check, the receptionist said. Room 406 just opened. Alpine view, tub, fireplace, private snow deck. I'll take it. That afternoon, I signed up for a guided glacier hike and a 6-course chef's tasting dinner. No Wi-Fi. No phones allowed. Before heading out, I opened the family group chat and typed exactly 1 sentence. Don't look for the old version of me. He's not coming. Then I put my phone back on silent, slid it deep into the pocket of my down jacket, and stepped outside. The air hit my face cold and clean. The kind of air that makes you feel like you're breathing for the first time in years. Let them spiral. Let them blame one another, decode Grandma's superstitions, whisper over wine about how Eric changed. They were right. I had changed. I was no longer the fixer. I was the one who finally walked away and chose peace. I was polishing off the final course of the tasting dinner, a wild mushroom risotto topped with shaved truffle, when my phone buzzed again. I almost ignored it, but the screen flashed with a familiar name. Ava. Claire and I may have been siblings, but Ava was the one who always talked to me like I had a brain. She was also the only cousin who hadn't tried to guilt-trip me in the past week. So I answered. Okay, she said without preamble. You need to hear this. I took a sip of wine. If this is a plea to come home, No, she interrupted. I'm calling because it was glorious. That got my attention. Ava laughed, breathless like she couldn't wait to tell it. Last night? The after-party thing Claire tried to host at Mom and Dad's place? It imploded. Full detonation. Claire went full meltdown in front of everyone. I grinned. Tell me everything. She didn't hesitate. Apparently some guests had been asking why you weren't at the dinner. And Claire, who was like 4 glasses of wine deep, got defensive. She started blaming you. Loudly. Like, in front of everyone. My brother bailed on me, she said. He left me hanging when I needed him most. I blinked. She really said that? Oh yeah. Full-on speech. It was bizarre. Like she forgot she'd ghosted you from the guest list. What did people do? Well, Ava said, most people just kind of stared. But then Grandma stood up. And let me tell you, I have never seen her go off like that. Wait, I said, sitting up straighter. Grandma defended me? She didn't just defend you. She threw Claire a new one. Said, that boy bent over backward for you, and you didn't even set a place at the table. She called the whole dinner a monument to ingratitude. I nearly choked on my wine. It gets better, Ava said, laughing. Apparently a couple of the catering staff were still there, cleaning up. One of them recorded the whole thing. Claire's rant, Grandma's fury, all of it. You're joking. Nope. I'm sending you the video. My phone buzzed with a new message. A 30-second clip from Ava. I hit play. Claire stood in the middle of a room full of frozen faces, shouting something about how she couldn't do everything alone. Then, off camera, Grandma's voice rang out, sharp as a bell. You didn't want him there, remember? You made that choice. Now sit with it. The room in the video was silent. Claire stared at the floor, mouth tight. I set the phone down and exhaled a laugh I hadn't felt in years. It wasn't mean. It wasn't cruel. It was relief. You okay? Ava asked. I'm better than okay, I said. Honestly, that's the best meal I've had in years, and I'm not talking about the risotto. She chuckled. Just thought you'd want to know. You had more of an impact by staying away than you ever would have had showing up. I raised my wine glass to no one in particular and whispered to poetic justice. For once, I didn't have to be the hero, just the absence that made everything fall apart. The morning after Ava's call, the sunlight hit my window just right, soft, golden, like the Alps themselves were applauding. I stretched, pulled the thick comforter up to my chin, and stayed in bed longer than I had in years. My phone, still on silent, buzzed with another stream of messages. I didn't even check the names. I already knew the drill. The family was entering its next phase, damage control. I finally glanced at the notifications over breakfast, warm croissants, cloudberry jam, and a cappuccino so good I almost teared up. Mom, we need to have a family meeting. Claire wants to clear the air. Uncle Phil, you should come home and help guide everyone. You've always been the steady one. Claire, I'm not proud of everything I said. Can we talk? Mom again. We're trying to move forward. Please don't abandon your sister now. Abandon her? She abandoned me the second she hit send on that dinner invite to everyone but me. I stared at the screen for a moment, then calmly, methodically, blocked each number. Claire. Mom. Phil. Every name that had tried to reel me back in like nothing had happened. I wasn't angry anymore. That part had melted off somewhere between the glacier hike and the eucalyptus steam room. I was done. And I was free. I went to the front desk and booked 3 more activities. A glacier hike with hot cocoa at the summit. A 6-course chef's table experience with wine pairings. A solo sunrise meditation walk, no phones allowed, just snow and silence. At lunch, I posted one final photo. A fiery alpine sunset, mountains silhouetted in amber and pink. Caption, 0 regrets. Absolute peace. No barbs. No shade. Just truth. The comments came in slowly. A heart from Ava. A proud of you, man, from an old coworker. Even a private message from someone I hadn't heard from in years. Honestly, I wish I'd done what you did. And maybe that was the real twist. For once, I hadn't salvaged the disaster. I hadn't come back, smoothed things over, or offered my shoulder to cry on. They called it selfish. I called it survival. Back in my suite, I poured a glass of wine and stared out at the snow-covered peaks. No more group chats. No more being the glue holding together a family that only noticed me when they needed something. Just me, the Alps, and a piece I had built all by myself. For the first time in a long time, I felt whole. Not because someone finally appreciated me, but because I finally did. And I wasn't going back.